How's it going? I promise at some point I will actually have a legitimate introduction for these CAF updates and the other shows that we do. I really want to take the time to do it, but I just haven't had a chance. But I've got my son here. He's been here for like the last 3 or 4 days because of his birthday and everything. So we've been working on a lot of different things, and we've been talking about getting an intro for the CAF update. We've been talking about finally recording a proper introduction for dueling dealers, so I don't have to sit there and stammer my way through that whole spiel every time. So hopefully next time for most of our shows, we will have a proper intro and maybe even an outro if we really feel ambitious. So good evening, everybody. How did everybody get along last Friday without a CAF update on Friday? I hope everybody went out and had a good evening and did something fun, saw a movie, took your spouse or significant other out to dinner. That would make me proud. What did I do? I think I actually stayed in and watched movies, didn't do anything. So that just shows you what I wanted with my Friday evenings off. But that's how it goes. So it's nice to be here again, and I've recovered from last evening's Dueling Dealers episode. That was definitely a rambling episode. One of I think I struggled the most through that episode with Mike and Anthony, more than I ever have. I don't even know since like episode 5 or 6. And I don't even know why. It was partially because I just wasn't on my game. I felt a little off, and Anthony's internet problems that you could see they were kind of creeping up until he finally went offline for a while, just kind of threw everything off. So it was an off night. But I have to thank Mikhail for pushing Anthony over the finish line and giving him a victory last evening. It was definitely made my day. And I could hear Maureen and Gwen were in the other room, and they were begging somebody to buy something because they hate seeing Anthony lose all the time. So but let's see, but it was always good. It was great that happened, and then he ended up selling that his final round piece anyway. But it was good. It was definitely good. Yeah. So Chris, honestly, you didn't miss much because it was definitely It was a I don't know. For me, it was one of those nightmare episodes where things just didn't really go well. We had some snafus at the beginning of the show, right before we went live, when we were reviewing. I think it was Mike's slides. There were just certain issues with them, and it just wasn't from the get-go. It wasn't a good evening. So I promise to do better next time, because we can't have that happen again. But at any rate, it was still a good show. And one of the things that I'm going to throw a poll in here later just to talk about Dueling Dealers and just whether or not we should stick to Wednesdays or maybe consider swapping to Monday. But we'll talk about that later when we look at the schedule. One thing that I wanted to bring up before we really got started with my laundry list of things to talk about with no like crazy topics tonight was I was on Facebook earlier today, and I saw Nick Barucci's post about that today would have been Dave Stevens' birthday, and he would have been 66 today. So I thought, we should look at some of his art, some of his most viewed, most commented, popular artwork on CAF as something to remember him by. And so I have just a few images here that I can show everybody. And first up, there, of course, is Dave himself. And so Dave got his start, I believe, around 1975, doing work on the Tarzan strips with Russ Manning, at least as far as professional work. And then the Rocketeer, I think, was started around 82. So, he fell into the right thing. I mean, I know he was a very meticulous guy as far as his craft, and everybody, there's many people appreciate his work. I've never owned a piece of Dave Stevens artwork, but I love it to death. I mean, it's, I know that after the Rocketeer stuff kind of was finished and he didn't work on it anymore, he did, he was mostly doing pinup work, more Betty Page things, and a few other published related things. But I see a lot of comments coming in. But anyway, I wanted to talk about, not talk about Dave too much, but I want to look at his art. So why don't we look at a few pieces of his artwork here? And these are just in a couple different collections. I mean, people who collect Dave's work, clearly, there's a few guys who have a lot. This is a nice pinup of Betty from the Rocketeer. This is in Chris C's collection, and obviously, I mean, what more can you say? from panel to panel, everything that Dave did here is just fantastic, and just the way he adds the character in with there on the left, it's just, you know, beautiful. And it is a monster, Rich. Absolutely. You know, he's I mean, the thing, you know, I've always appreciated his line work is just so subtle and so detailed. I can only imagine what it would have been like to watch him ink these pages from the Rocketeer. But let me keep going through my slides here. So a great piece in Chris's collection. If you haven't checked out Chris C's collection, you should definitely do that. He's got one hell of a collection on CAF as well. Then this is actually from Albert's collection. This is the cover to Rocketeer Adventure, or no, Alien Worlds. I'm sorry, I'm reading too far ahead in my list here. And I think Albert's had this on the site for, gosh, well over 10 years. So clearly it's a, you know, prime piece for, you know, in Albert's collection. And I know everybody's probably checked out Albert's collection in the past. So you all know that, you know, he's got one heck of an eye for, you know, nice artwork, and this one's really beautiful. So, and probably one of my favorites on CAF, to be honest. And well, and then I show you this one, and this one's in Felix Liu's collection. So this is the cover to Rocketeer Adventure Magazine #1, and Felix has a nice kind of tribute and write-up in the description on this piece. And Felix is a one hell of a collector as well. If you haven't seen his collection in a while, you should definitely check out his collection. But this particular piece, you know, I mean, it's unbelievable, absolutely classic. And I see Sam saying the same thing. And I've got too many screens in front here, so I can't really pull comments up while I'm doing this. But yeah, that's a beauty. And again, Felix is another one you guys need to check out. I like this one because this is in my good friend Joseph Melchior's collection, and it's half Stevens, half Steve Ditko. I mean, from Pacific Presents #1. You know, you'll never see anything quite as unique as that, right? But this one has gotten Joseph a lot of views in his CAF gallery, and deservedly so. I mean, it's cool for both artists on this one. And next up, this is in a collection of Jim Reed. Jim's got several pieces by, you know, Dave in his collection. And this one, you know, is from, let's see, it was Star Grazers. It was from Vanguard Illustrated #2. It's the cover to that. But you should check, you know, Jim he does a lot of write-ups on Dave's pieces that are in his CAF gallery. So definitely worthwhile to go in there and spend a little bit of time, because I believe that, oh, you think, oh, did he? That was not aware of, Dino. So there you go. Pieces change hands and don't get removed from people's galleries. Sometimes I should always check to see if somebody wrote sold or something. And yes, Calvin is making a documentary as well. Thank you for that reminder. See, I am kind of trying to bounce between all these screens now. So yes, thank you for that reminder, Marcus. And let me pull up another one here. This is in Ray Cuthbert's collection, Nile #1 cover. And, you know, again, Ray has several pieces by Dave as well. And we've had Ray on. If you haven't seen the interview we did with Ray probably about 3 months ago, I know we didn't, I don't believe we showed this piece, but I know we showed a few Dave Stevens pieces from his collection, a large painting, and those are all in his CAF gallery. So I would definitely encourage you to either check the interview out or definitely check out Ray's gallery. And it's now, okay, thank you, Dino. I see that. I can't bring it up at the moment. But yep, doesn't surprise me. From now on, I'll pay more closer attention to what's in their sold field, rather than me just browsing through and looking at art that's popular. So very good point. A reminder. Thank you. So this one's in Malcolm Bourne's collection. Just another great piece. Every panel, you know, they're just amazing. Even down to the one where she's just looking out the window, right? Yeah. Well, there's no thigh gaps, Alfredo. So I don't know. Fish would probably approve of these. I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw it was what the heck image was it? It was an image of a very beautiful woman, and Fish, I think, was one of the first people to comment on it. So, you know, Fish has probably it's probably a very fine line between too risque and not. But Fish will be on Collector Conversations again on Sunday, so we can ask him more about that. And this here is in the collection of another person we've had on the show and interviewed, was Patrick Ohanic. And this is another Vampirella piece, and very similar to the piece that Nick shared earlier today, which I'm going to show you next. And this is a Scarlet Thirst cover, and similar to that image, obviously. But this was the piece that is in Nick Barucci's collection, and I've just got two more here. This was an awesome sketch, and this is in Greg Clausen's collection. And finally, I put one in for me because it's X-Men. This is a X-Men t-shirt design, obviously after Kirby. It even says so on the piece. And this is in the collection of Comic Art B. So there you have it. Dave was an incredible artist, and there's certainly not enough art by Dave on our site. I can tell you, I think when I was doing some searches and everything, I think it was barely over 350 pieces of art on the site. So we definitely need to, we need to up the artwork on the site from Dave. I know that there's not a dearth of it out there, but it would be nice to see more. But anyway, I'm very happy to have the art that we do on CAF. Let's see, and Rick, reading through the comments here, he's got Jason K has two sweet Dave Stevens in his CAF gallery. So yeah, definitely everybody should be doing a Dave Stevens search. Go to his artist page on CAF if you want to go that route, or just go to the CAF search on it and order by comments and views, and time to watch. I agree, Wes. I would agree. I can tell you, well, I don't know. They do come on the market, don't they? I mean, I can't say that they don't, but they are hard. Yeah, there's Rich saying hard to find and harder to afford. But I know that he did do a lot of inking as well, whereas over other people's pencils. I mean, there's several pages from that What If Master of Kung Fu issue that are on CAF. So there are examples. You might not get the pencil side of his professional career, but there are certainly probably more affordable inking or inked pieces out there. So so all right, so there you have it. So again, this is back to what I want to do more with the CAF update, and just try to do things that are more appropriate and things that just make sense for me and for all of us. So I'm always open to suggestions too, because I'm not going to be able to keep track of everything. If I hadn't happened to be on Facebook, which I don't do every day, I wouldn't have seen Nick's post, and it made me think that this was a really good thing for us to do. So, yep. And all right, so there you go. So I can highlight that one off the list. But yes, Dave would have been 66 years old today, and but I did spend a lot of time reading a few tributes and things from back when he passed, and it was so it's good. It's always good to remember our heroes and the people who've contributed to our hobby. So I'd encourage everybody to do the same. Do Google searches as well. You'll come across several blog posts, that were really that talked a lot about, because I had actually never met Dave. I'd been to some shows where he was at, but at that time I just wasn't savvy as a collector and would never have thought to have approached him. But it was nice reading things from people who knew him very well. So, all right. So I agree. Amen and fair travel. So let me go over a couple things with the. Let's see. I've got so many things to go over, but I'm gonna just hit you up with a couple of the schedules that we've got going on, because that way I can get some slides out of the way that we were working on. Showed this near at the beginning of the last show. Just some stuff that we have coming up. The first thing in there is this Saturday, and we always talked about wanting to do a Saturday show of some kind with Dueling Dealers, and I'm not sure if that's going to really pan out like a monthly thing, but I wanted to always do something on one Saturday a month, and because we really didn't have the opportunity to do it earlier in the month, we decided that Mike was going to be doing an art drop on Sunday. So on Saturday at 1, I'm going to be over at Mike's house. We were going to shoot some memes anyway, and we're going to go over and basically just review the artwork that he has that he's going to drop on Sunday. It's a preview. If anybody wants to pick it up, make an offer, or I think everything will be priced. But we were just going to show it off as just something for us to do together on a Saturday afternoon. So anybody that wants to join us, I'd we'd welcome the company. It's not, I could tell you it's not anything that's like commissionable for me or anything. We were just doing this for fun, just to see how it would work. I know that there was a poll that I had put out there regarding Saturday shows, and it was to the people who are paid members now in the channel. They could answer it. And I asked what times people would prefer to see a Saturday afternoon show, and 5 p.m. is actually the preferred time, which works for me. I wanted to make sure if we do something on a Saturday that it would be early enough for everyone, even in Europe, to be able to tune into it. 5 p.m. I mean, it's 11 p.m. in parts of Europe that we'd want to hit, but 10 p.m. in other places. So we'll see. But this one will be at 1 o'clock. Then the other, I kind of highlighted everything that's in red is sort of a special show. The Monday show is the 500 and under show between Anthony and Mike. The big one, of course, is the Monday August 9th show. That's at 9 p.m. like all our other shows. That's the one where Albert and Mike duke it out. And the 28th will actually be their next Saturday show that we do. That'll be live from New Jersey with Mike and Anthony. We'll be doing it from Anthony's warehouse. So that'll be interesting. And then I do have Jordan and Mike scheduled for the next Pro-Am bout on September 13th, Monday, again, 9 p.m. So lots of stuff coming up. And then we have those $1,000 and under shows. Those are primarily because like on the Week with Albert, we're expecting the Monday show to be pretty big. So we don't want to go too heavy on the show after that. And then the 9/8 show where it's $1,000 and under show, that one we've got that way because the following day is another Heritage Signature auction. So that's kind of the upcoming schedule as far as the dueling dealers go. As far as the other shows that are coming up, like I mentioned, the Collector's Conversation. I'll even pull up the slide because I put something together there. Like I got James and Mikhail and Fish and Chris and myself all into this one. So this will be on Sunday at 9 p.m. I can tell you the topics. I know that I've been asked to do a better job of highlighting the topics that we cover. I've got to focus a little bit of attention on that because now that we're 11 shows in, you figure we've already covered 40 different topics technically, and there's really no easy way to know what those topics are because they're not written into the show description. So I've got some work to do to kind of work that out, but I wanted to at least let you know what the topics for this Sunday are because we already have them ironed out. Chris is going to be doing his second part on appreciating art, and we'll be looking at some art, and he'll be talking about the focus on art and appreciating it. And as far as in his view as a artist himself and collector is going to impart his wisdom on us in the second episode for that. Then I've also got a comic art addiction. I don't know if that's going to be a self-help panel or not, but that should be fun, I'm sure. And we have a cataloging and organizing, a growing collection. And then finally, this comes up quite a bit when we talk with collectors, is whether or not to display the real art on the walls or if you should be hanging photocopies and that sort of thing. Because I know some people do. And I had never even known that was a thing until I'm not even sure which first collector brought that up when we were doing an interview with them. But yeah, so those will be the topics, and there'll be some polls. Duke literally sent me about 13 different poll options, not for picking panels or picking topics, but just kind of put things out there to ask questions of the audience, and it should be fun. So yeah, I thought the last one was really good as well, and it was a very interesting yeah. And yes, Adam, yeah, believe it or not, rather than hanging the originals on the wall, there are a lot of collectors that will hang full-size reproductions of their own artwork on the wall, and so that way they can look at it, but it's not the real thing. And yeah, so that is a thing, and so that will be one of the topics that we'll talk about on Sunday. And and one thing I should mention, because I didn't find out about this till after the show last night. Again, it's just the calamity of errors that went on with that show. Apparently, we didn't stream to Facebook, even though it was set up to it. My daughter came in and said, "Hey, there was a big exclamation point over streaming to Facebook," and she said she clicked on it and it said something about the stream had died to Facebook for some reason. So, and I actually got 3 or 4 emails from people that watched the show on Facebook that were upset, thinking that we were no longer streaming to Facebook for that show and other shows. So anybody, I saw Philip Layden had just posted something. I just wanted to let everybody know that we are still streaming to Facebook. I'm not sure what went wrong last night, but it was definitely out of our control. And Eric, hang the real art. Yes, that is what I would do. But I think it might come down to people and with more pricier pieces of art have done that versus putting the other stuff up. Because like, what's the next thing you think about is everybody wants a quick route to grab that Itoya with all the expensive art in it and run out when the house is on fire. You can't do that if you've got all your great art hanging in many rooms in your home. So that might play a small part in all of that. Polls that are doing I'm not on Facebook, so I don't see it. No, West. The ones that we've done, the polls that I've done in the past have been on Facebook. We've only done them for the Collector Conversation show when we were having people, having you decide what some of the panelists were going to talk about. So that was why we did them. I mean, I could do a poll tonight. I mean, I'd have to look at what Duke could put together, but I was thinking about it. But you know what I should do is the one thing that let me see. I'm sorry, I'm just crossing some stuff out here. Well, I mentioned, if you've read the email today that I sent out, I'm going to try to do a giveaway tonight because Nick Verrucci actually approached me. He's like, hey, I'd love to do something for you when you get 2,000 subscribers, which we're almost at. I was kind of late getting back to him, but he was talking about, hey, we could do some kind of giveaway. And I thought that was a really good idea, but I had no idea how to do a giveaway. So when we use this chat software, basically, like when you see the bill bot pop in, that's actually the chat software coming in and essentially doing its automated things. And so I read up through the documentation, and they actually have some ways to do a poll, and a giveaway as well. So I'm going to just try it because I don't know what this thing's going to do, to be honest with you. Oh, and David, thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. Another member added to the list. I think we almost have about 40 so far. And I can tell you, part of the whole idea for doing the Saturday show, and at least this one, is kind of an experiment. I just want to see how it goes. And because I think at some point, I might do some of these shows and they'll be member only shows. I mean, I don't want to do a members only like talk show or interview, but if we're going to do, maybe we end up doing some custom art drops with dealers, then I think it might be fun to just limit those to those people supporting us in that way. And then, I don't know, it's an experiment. I'm still learning as I go. Everybody knows that. So at any rate, I'm going to try to see if I can't start this giveaway thing, because essentially there's a way that you're able to just do your entry through these through the whole process of sitting here. And I'm just gonna, I don't know, I apologize if I screw this up, but this is my learning curve here. If I post this in like that, I don't even know what it's going to do. Probably won't do anything unless Battissimo. No, Battissimo did not reply. That is the thing that I've been using. I was going to suggest you now. Bits and challenge coins. And you guys, at any rate, I might have to poke around and look at this a little bit more. I had this weird feeling that creating a giveaway prior to the stream starting was a bad thing. Just when I was reading the documentation, it sounds stupid. You'd think you could do it any time, but I have a feeling if I go in and I set this thing, I apologize. Keep chatting with yourselves, everybody, while I'm trying to figure out this dang thing. I should have poked around and, oh, wait a minute, it is working. Hey, how'd that happen? All right, well, it's working. I can actually see that people are doing the submits on here. So why don't I actually put a little banner together just to make it real obvious. Win a 6-month premium membership to Comic Art Fans. You must be a channel subscriber, #1. So if you're here and you haven't subscribed to the channel, at least by the way this thing is set up, you should not be able to do the enter thing. But you just type !enter into the chat, and it will enter your name into the list, because I can actually see 4 people have done it already. 5, 6. All right. See, good. 7. All right. It is working. So if you're not a subscriber, then I guess this is how it all supposed to work, right? See, it's taken me what, 15, 16 months to figure out that how you should be leveraging this platform. But if you're not a subscriber, I'm pretty sure you can subscribe from this page on YouTube. And if you can't, I know you can subscribe directly from the main channel page. So if you click on our name and open it in a new tab, subscribe, and when you do it, turn on notifications too. And then you'll be able to also enter yourself into this. So I appreciate it. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. I'll pop this thing up a few times, and then but essentially here's the deal. So it'll be just 6 months premium membership added. If you're already premium, it'll add it on to your existing one. If you want to gift it to somebody else, more power to you. If you're not premium, it'll just make you premium for 6 months, and and you'll get to try out all the premium services. So either way, as long as you're a subscriber, you can partake in all of this. So thank you everybody for doing that. I'm just seeing some, that must be a channel sponsor. I don't even know what the hell that means. You have been entered, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know what that part means, but yeah, or maybe that means subscriber. It says sponsor. I think it should say subscriber, because when I set the preferences up for this thing, it did have that on there. Well, I don't know. I could turn it off if that's screwing some people up. It says sponsor, but if I look at the settings for this thing, it says only allow channel subscribers to enter. And so it should say channel subscriber, but it's saying channel sponsor. I don't know why. I assume you must be, okay, well, I'll uncheck it and see if that doesn't screw anything up, because the only thing I had checked was that. Let's see, hit save, I didn't realize there was a difference and a CAL membership. Sorry. Well, let me know, those who are experiencing problems, who cannot do the enter even if you're subscribed to the channel. I mean, again, this is you guys helping me figure this thing out, because I want it to work. Actually, because honestly, it'd be fun to give away a 6-month membership every week, right? I mean, it's just something fun that we can do during the show. So, but if anybody keeps bumping into that, let me know. I did turn off any restrictions on it. And okay, Indu, sorry about that, Ankur. I don't know why it said that. I mean, as long as you're subscribed. And yeah, I saw somebody else say something about membership differences between CAL and CAF. Yeah, well, I mean, there's the CAF membership, the premium membership for the features on that site. And then something that we turned on really last Thursday, right? It was last Thursday when I let you guys know about it, was that YouTube allows us to have this membership concept that basically, it's, I haven't used it where what do you get from me? You get a different icon beside your name, and you get access to emojis that I've uploaded that are more funny things to do during Dueling Dealers than anything else. But so yeah, it's definitely, it's two separate things now. But the membership over here, it's purely, just something that's YouTube based. It's kind of like a set it and forget it way to kind of tip me once a month. And that's how they do YouTube bills it, as far as I know. It's just a once a month thing, and you can turn it off and turn it on at any time. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, you know how it is. This is CAF stuff is more for the premium membership features on the site. CAL membership is just strictly for this. And as of right now, we haven't had a members only show yet, but it's something that I want to do. I just think it'll be something interesting, and I think I want to do some exclusive things here and there every now and again. Not to make the channel be like prohibitive for some people, but if we're going to go out of our way to do some cool things, and I think if we can get some more dealers involved just to do shows like that, it'll be fun. Because I've kind of looked at it as, I've been enjoying Dueling Dealers, but I'd like to do a few other things similar to it, but to be more engaging and to kind of get a few more people involved with the show. And if that meant doing a Saturday show where I'm not charging them any kind of a commission, and I just want to do something fun and it's more member based, then and if that helps bring more members into the channel, then I think that's a win-win. And we'll see. I haven't talked to really anybody about it. It's just other than Mike and Anthony. So but it's something that I've been thinking about. So anyway, thank you. I can't even count how many entries are in there right now, but Oh, 37. Okay, great. So that's working. All right. So at least I've got that figured out now. So again, I'm going to leave that run. I'll even leave the message up there on the screen. How about dueling collectors? Well, we've tried that. That's our ADD show, right? The amateur dueling dealers. So we, so it's out there. And I did have somebody even ask me about doing some smaller art drops for collectors, similar to what Mike and I might be doing on Saturday. Where it's like, so rather than somebody who's, not everybody's going to have 20 pieces of art, they might have 5 pieces of art. So doing a show where I bring in 4 or 5 collectors who've got a few pieces of art that they want to sell, and we just kind of do a staggered art drop. I'm open to doing anything. I want to do what you guys want me to do. So dueling donuts. No. All right. So way too many things here, but let this is our regular show should be about the same things that we've always had it about. So let me at least hit on some of the weekly topics of the day before I get into some more fun stuff. But the first thing we should probably do is hit on, and again, I've got way too many windows open here, but let me do the CAF update because it was an interesting week, and in part because of the Torpedo show, the dealer sales were actually really, really, really strong. So I'm going to pull the little banner off here for the moment because I don't know if it's going to layer over my little video or not. But the Torpedo show was good. I saw Albert and I believe Glenn had some pretty high sales thanks to that. And so dealer sales for last week were at $365,000, and that was up from $191,000 the period before that. So super strong week for the dealers. Panel page, Glenn sold the most at just under $112,000 with 19 sales. Albert was next with $88,000 in sales, and then Anthony, believe it or not, was next with $78,000 in overall sales. Mike was next with 51, and Felix was in 5th with just over 13. So, strong week for those that went to Torpedo, and a strong week for Anthony. I think Anthony had one really large sale, and we will actually show that here right now. Let's get this thing on the screen. So again, $365,000 in sales. And this first piece was sold by Albert. I'll imagine it was done at Torpedo. It's Jack Kirby and Chick Stone from X-Men issue 10, page 19. It's a killer, and then the asking price was $40,000, and that one is incredible. Next up is the big one from Anthony. This is, of course, by Sal Buscema. Asking price on this one was $36,500. And the next couple are from Glenn at panel page. This is Sal Buscema again, and this is from Spectacular Spider-Man. This is the cover to 179 or 197. Sorry about that. Asking price was $25K on that one. And this next piece was a cap page to 210 DPS 2 and 3, and this is Kirby, and the asking price on this one was $18,500. And the final two are from Albert. This is Brave and the Bold 141 cover, Jim Aparo. Asking price was $16,500. And another Kirby piece. This is with Royer Inks. This is from Justice Inc. issue 3. And the asking price on this one from Albert was $15,000. So nice, solid week from all that. And yes, exactly, Khalil. Sal Buscema heating up. I think we've seen that, right? I'd say in the last year, last 9 months, Sal's really seeing some really, really good prices. So it's pretty impressive. I'm happy to see that happening. I mean, nobody deserves it more than Sal. And there's some other Sal pieces that'll be, at least one other piece I featured in the popular hour. Mr. Watermark, exactly. Albert will get he gets his marketing in wherever he can, and I think it's great. Honestly, I think it's great because my programming puts that watermark on him on his artwork when he uploads it. So I've effectively helped him do that, and I think it's great. Dueling Billigans, that will probably never happen, but there are some interesting things that we've got coming up with modifying as part of that modifying the intro, so I don't have to keep reading the damn thing every week. I've got kind of an idea to just kind of do a little bit of a different. We already do the intro part, but the whole spiel about the rules and everything, I want to kind of mess around with that a little bit just to make it fun, especially if it's going to be recorded. So Sally's that's the best piece. Oh, wow, that Eric, those might be fighting words around here. Yeah, it is a premium feature actually, Mikhail. So yeah, if you go to, I mean, I should just see, this would be the how-to tonight, right? I could do that. I can show you where the watermark feature is. It's underneath your, let's see, where are you? Premium preferences. So yeah, here, I'll just show you. I'll just pull it up on the screen and what? Yeah, it really does exist. Let me show you. See again, and I'll tell you, after I did the how-to on that one little thing last week, and I had a really great suggestion from Michael at NSN Art. He had said I should just kind of consolidate these things into like little how-to segments, 5 to 10 minute parts. And so definitely, I mean, the first chance I have, I will do that. I've always wanted to do it, and it's about time that I do it. So here, I'll just show you where that feature is and get on the screen here. So this is your premium preferences page, and yeah, nobody else can see it quite like mine, but here, I'll see if I can zoom it in a little bit better. But as you can see, right in, where are we? My watermark, right there. If you go onto there, you can upload a watermark. Now that I will tell you, because there is one thing that you have to bear in mind with your watermark as a premium member. If you need to always use, if you scan everything as a RGB JPEG, your watermark needs to be an RGB JPEG as well. If you save it as a, as a GIF, or God only knows, you save it as a CMYK TIFF. If you try to upload something that doesn't match that file type, I can't merge the files together. So that's just, you want to experiment with that. But I run into that problem more with dealers, because a lot of times dealers get their scans from the artists and they scan them with wacky color profiles and all these things, and then they try to merge it with their standard RGB JPEG, and it becomes a total disaster. So and the way the watermark works, I don't even know if there's instructions on there to tell you what it does, but and mine, yeah, mine's not active, but you would just click choose file and pick it. It will put that watermark in the upper left-hand corner and spread it out. So like with Albert's, he's got it canted the other way and it goes into his art. You can make it where you have a lot of white space, and you can generalize about where it's going to go in the middle of your art. You can do whatever you like. But just bear in mind that it starts in your upper left-hand corner and works its way down. So that is how that works, and it works rather well. That's, if you see people with watermarks in their CAF gallery, that's how they did it. I would be more than willing to bet they are not out there. And I agree, JC. Depending on how they watermark it, it can be, sometimes it's a little too much in your face. So it's something I think people have to experiment with. It's almost like upload your watermark and then upload an example and see if you like it. And I know. Hey, the thing is, I can tell you, there are people that demand them, and there are people that hate them. And so that's why it is an option for premium members, whether or not they want to have it or not. And you're right, you can make them very, very subtle. It's just a question of how you utilize it, but it's there, because a lot of times, I mean, I get a lot of people in the past. People closed their CAF galleries when they saw those scammy sites using the art from their gallery on those print sites, and then they're mad at me, because I didn't protect their images any better. And so with premium members and having larger images, I felt that it should be optional for a premium member to watermark their art, even though, yeah, those image scammers that do the prints can easily get rid of your watermark. But I just felt that as an option, especially when it's a larger scan, that if they wanted to watermark it, they could. Stop scaremongering. I'm not scaremongering. I'm just telling you how it's been. I have literally had people leave CAF after they saw their artwork was being, artwork that they owned. I mean, and it's not, again, that is in their possession, that they own, published artwork that is out there on some print site from some foreign country, and it happened a lot. And then the people who get really mad is when it was their commissions that were being then used as prints in out there, because what would happen, and it happened like 2 or 3 times. It was kind of serious, where the artist went to the collector and then and ripped him a new one, and then the collector came to me and ripped me a new one, and then closed his CAF. So it happens, at the end of the day. It definitely yeah, don't you do that, Mikhail. At any rate, so there it is. There you have it. And there's nothing. Now that I'm on this page, I don't think there's anything I can really tell you premium member wise, but if there's any other features on there. But as you can see, I get a premium member email every single hour. No one else can do that. Only I get that. But that's how I can always tell if the mailing's going out. I'm last in the list, and I get one every hour. So if anybody ever contacts me and says, hey, I don't think your premium member keyword mailing is working, I can always just pop in and check and see if they've been going out every hour. And I can go back to them and say, well, you either had no matches, or you've turned it off, or maybe you aren't premium anymore. So, those things do happen. So I was trying to see if there was anything else on there. Yeah, what is it? You get an About Me page. If you put some About Me information in there, I can actually feature you in the daily emails, people, if you're premium. So I would encourage you to do that. Not enough people have that. You figure we've got like 900 premium members, and I bet I only have about 102 of those things actually filled out. I'm just trying to see if there was anything else on there. About Me dashboard. No. So there you go. All right, I've looked over it all. There's nothing else of significant note in here, so I'll just get rid of that. No, it does not, Chuck. It only gets it's added when you upload. So if you add a watermark, it can't go back and add it to the 1,000 pieces you might have in your gallery. It only affects anything new that you were to upload. And Tommy, yep, exactly. That's what we're thinking. 2 to 5 minutes. Devote one topic to just the notification systems that are out there that are that are part of the site, whether premium or not, and covering those, and then just covering a few other important tips and tricks to make the site more user friendly. And man, these things are going by fast. Yes. Alex is going to use Khalil's face as his watermark. Well, that's going to be interesting, Alex. All right. So, but yeah, Chuck, that is a downside to the whole watermark feature. A lot of people wish that it would just go out and add it to everything, and it can't. And similarly, if you watermark 5 or 6 images and then decide you don't like it, from that edit your watermark page, you can remove it, so it won't be added to anything new, but it doesn't remove it from the 5 or 6 images where you did add it and it merged in there. So, and I guess maybe it would have been smart to make it where you can pick and choose which pieces it gets added to, because maybe there's some that you want to guarantee people aren't going to rip you off. Johnny, what was this? My wife just asked me, does this interest you, Bill? I'm all right. So that I don't know, man. I don't have an answer for that one. Large safety deposit box somewhere. I don't know. Yep, I know, Nick. A lot of people hate him, and it's I get it. I definitely get it. I mean, I'm not terribly a fan of him myself, but I do understand the need for it. Marcus. All right, so let's move on to the next part, the auction results, because they were pretty paltry last week, I have to say. We went from $350,000 the week before down to $226,000. Absolutely terrible week for auction houses. I'm not quite sure why, but yeah, I mean, even Heritage with they had 252 sales and only could manage $116,000. and eBay had 653 sales and could only manage 110. So not a good week for the auction houses. But let's go over the 6 pieces here, starting with the eBay results, of course. And so again, 350, and this that is an incorrect number. Thanks to my son, whom I'm going to have to talk with. This is that Selena Red Sonja cover. Cover C, this one sold for $2,512. It really is 262 or 226,000 as a total in auctions. Anyway, Andy Kubert. This was a best offer piece from an X-Men 1996 piece. The original price was $2,500. I don't know what it went for, but it was less than $2,500. And finally, in eBay, this is a Nancy comic strip, Ernie Bushmiller, 1947. This one did sell for $2,500. And our 3 heritage pieces, once again, Dick Ayers and John Tartaglione, $10,800. Sergeant Fury, 34. And these pages are going. And then 2 more pieces. Windsor McKay, we don't see too many of these. Little Nemo comic strip. This one sold for $5,760. And finally, this John Buscema Gotham Knights #7 page. This one sold for $3,840 on Heritage. So there you have that. And yeah, I'm gonna have a talk with him. He put the wrong number in there. So hey, we're trying. It's getting a little. We're taking baby steps to get these things right. But he's done a very good job. And yeah, that Buscema. Yes, that was a nice one. Did the mirror still? I don't know. God, Eric's just looking for a fight this evening. So 2 more likes to get to 50, as Nick says. Come on, everybody, give me some likes. I want to keep Nick happy and my algorithm working in the right direction. And I'll tell you, if you noticed, every time I lean back, the color kind of changes. I do have a new camera on the way. So, and I got an email today that I'm supposed to get it in the next few days. So I don't know if it'll be here by Saturday or Sunday, but hopefully early next week I'll have a new one. But I'm tired of that like weird effect when I'm away from the monitor and back. So I have to sit very still. Yeah. All right. So there you go. So why don't we just go ahead and hammer out the popular artwork so we can get on with the rest of this gigantic list that I've got. It's not that big. It's not a giant list, but let's look at the popular art from the week. And yeah, thanks, Nick. And it pays to remind people. All right, so let's get the popular artwork out of the way. Again, this is from July 19th through the 25th. This first piece is in Dino's collection. I love it. John Buscema and Joe Sinnott, Marvel Greatest. This is the cover to number 35 from 1972. Beauty. And then this next one is in Dinesh's collection, always hitting home runs. This is Superman Man of Steel number 18, first full appearance of Doomsday, Death of Superman Part 1. Wow. And then here you go, Sal Buscema. Love that middle panel. That is an awesome Hulk right there. This is from 1975. It's Hulk issue 194, page 3. And then the cover image to our show this evening is from Thor 16. This is the cover, collection of Carl C. Artist, of course, is Nick Klein. Then this one got a lot of attention on CAF last week. Collection of Andy Robbins. This is Barry Windsor Smith, Weapon X cover. Love it. Nice image. And another great one. This is, of course, done by Trad Moore. We've heard that name a few times. Clarion number 4 cover in the collection of Reba Jacobs. And then this one is owned by JC. This is Paul Pope, quite obviously. Before Watchman, Dr. Manhattan number 1 cover. Beautiful. Collection on this one is Paul Roach. It's Jim Mooney. And this is the cover to Marvel Spotlight. Or no, not a cover. This is from Marvel Spotlight, number 27. And it's from page 31. And then West, this is in your collection. Philip Tan, Batman number 100. Awesome image. Congratulations, West. And this one is a cover I've always loved. New Mutants number 9. Andre J is the proud owner of this one, and the art is by Bob McLeod. And this is in Fish's collection, and it's Jim Starlin, and it's listed as Dan Green and Al Milgram on the inks, and this is Captain Marvel 31, page 22, first Thanos storyline. And this next one is by Mark Teixeira, Punisher War Journal number 50, the title splash, and this is in Duke Fleet's collection, another Sunday conversationalist. And I like this one a lot. Avengers 47, Jason D'Ambrosia, not in our collector chats on Sundays, but this is John Buscema and George Tuska. And this is the cover to the trade paperback Volume 9 Wonder Woman. This is by David Finch in the collection of Pat L. And the final two pieces, this is in Mark Levy's collection. This is Cerebus Says Shit 3 times, believe it or not. This is by Dave Sim and Gerhard. And I think he says it right there in that lower panel. And finally, Daredevil 37, page 12. You got Nice Dr. Doom in there. This is by Gene Colan and John Tartaglione, and it's in the collection of Kareem El Rafi. So hope you like that selection. What do you think? All good? I see Canadians are custards. I missed all that while I was in showing off those images. So you guys. All right. So let me see here. Let me pull up this banner one more time to remind anybody who's maybe just come into this thing late how to enter the giveaway for tonight. There are 43 people who are currently in it, and boy, I hope this thing works since everybody's been actively engaged in getting themselves entered properly. So we'll let it ride for a few more minutes while. So what I've got is Mikhail was kind enough to go through and do a recording while he was at the Torpedo show. I don't know if it was on Saturday or Sunday, or maybe it was Friday, but he gave me the video clips and I kind of pulled them all together, put it to music. And so we're going to show that. It's about 4 or 5 minutes, but it's fun. You're going to get to see some of the art dealers that were there. They're not stopping, but it gives you that the con vibe that we've all been missing these last, what do you want to say? I mean, since last March. So 17, 18 months. So it was cool to see. It was kind of fun for me to see it because, I don't know. I'm aching to get back to a show myself, and I'm glad that it was such a success. I heard Albert did great. He brought a lot of new Bruce Timm artwork, I heard, and I think he sold out of well, there you go. Check out Mikhail's OnlyFans page. At any rate, it was it's nice to see. So I'm going to show you, just sit back, enjoy it. I'm going to drink a little bit of water here while it's playing. Feel free to chat away. And here we go. Where are you? There we go. All right.
research on which one to go for. I want to say hello to all my brothers, my comic art collecting brothers at CAF. Hello from Torpedo Con. Wish you could be here.
What do you want me to say?
Just say hi to the CAF community.
Okay.
We're looking forward to dueling dealers.
Okay. Hi to the CAF community. Looking forward to dueling dealers where I kick Murphy's ass.
There you go. Those are fighting words. That's gonna become part of the hype reel for that August 9th battle between Albert and Mike. It should be a lot of fun. And yes, Albert did win the shirt contest, didn't he? Yeah. So that's going to make for a fun show. You can probably expect a lot more of that on Monday evening when we have that duel between those guys. I'm sure we're going to all enjoy it. But Mikhail, thank you so much, man, for putting all that together. Like Marcus said, next time maybe you can zoom in on some prices and but we'll take this as a first time out. So next show, prices and maybe a stable cam. But you did great. You did great. I loved it. So Jim was in the champagne. I was gonna say it was tough watching, going through it to see everybody. I had to watch it a few times because I did pick out Metropolis's booth. So I saw Micah sitting at the table for a split second, and yeah. So like everybody said, if shows are going to be that crowded in the next 6 months, I mean, we're all going to go, right? There's a lot of room, a lot of space. So hey, again, thank you, and for anybody else out there, you're going to an event and you have the time, you don't mind taking a few photos, shoot a little bit of video. It's good for us all. So I would appreciate it if contact me before you go, and we'll work out a place for you to upload the images, and I'll be happy to pull all your images and video and put it together and show it off, because that's when we can't go, it's something that we can live vicariously through your filmography. So anybody, please let me know. And I did actually go to a show on Saturday, not a con though. I went to a gallery opening for Steve Ditko, and it was it was interesting because it was in Johnstown, PA, which is where Ditko grew up. And the opening, it wasn't actually the opening, it was a special invite thing, and Mike got invited because he had donated, I think, 6 or 7 artworks by Ditko for the exhibit. And so I really didn't know what to expect, but I thought it'd be fun. And so it was actually pretty interesting. There was a lot of Ditko family members there. And what was really, really neat was they had posted a lot. There was 5 different sections where they had lots of personal photos of Steve Ditko with his family, and our impression of Ditko is, very, one-sided, fan-sided, right? I mean, he's a nihilist, or he'd rather be reading Ayn Rand, or, and not talking to fans and not wanting, whatever, that it's a little bit out there, think, right? the famous photo with him. But seeing photos of him with his family and just being average Joe, Steve Ditko, I mean, you just wouldn't, you almost wouldn't think it would be him, because the image you have in your mind of what Steve was like, the guy who would would answer so many letters from people with his short, curt replies, or when people would knock on his door, he'd tell people he didn't live in the past and and kind of close it politely. But yeah, seeing pictures of him at Christmas and baking cookies and and all those sorts of things was just really neat. And seeing that his family members, a lot of them really didn't really know his significance to comics, in general. I mean, they just knew him as Uncle Steve or Cousin Steve. And so it was neat. It was definitely neat chatting with some people. I mean, I had people come up to me and say, "Are you a Ditko?" Because apparently it was treated as kind of a reunion for the family. And and so the exhibit, but it was neat. I'm going to show what I shot next week, because the official opening for the exhibit is tomorrow. So I didn't really think it was fair to put anything out there before it's actually open to the public in Johnstown. But a very good exhibit, and just nice. They had his desk. They had lots of personal belongings and things there. They did, other than Mike's art, there were probably only I don't know, I'd say 8 or 9 small pieces. So it was not really an art exhibit. They had put up a ton of full-size prints, or probably photocopies from Spidey 5 and 38, and they had them all lined up. I mean, they were all kind of well done, but there was some rumors out there about those books being in existence, because I guess they've not been out there. And but what was shown at the exhibit were copies, so I can only tell you that. But they had some color guides and some few other things, but primarily it was mostly photographs or photocopies of early work from him. Lots of articles about him when he was in school, because he was highly regarded. The guy most likely to succeed in his class and go on to great things, sort of thing. Were the articles, because he was considered to be a really great artistic talent when he was doing things at the school paper and whatnot. So at any rate, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And they actually had the gentleman who had set up the exhibit did a presentation at the end where they had to negotiate with Marvel to get a mural when they wanted to do 3 separate murals in Johnstown. And at first Marvel basically told them that there are no Marvel exhibits or murals or statues. They don't do anything like that. And so they turned him down when they originally made the request to try to get these murals done. But somehow, I guess they were very persistent, and finally Marvel has given in, and I guess they are going to, beginning next year, they're going to be putting up 3 Ditko inspired, large wall outdoor murals around town. And so they unveiled what the first one was going to be. It was really cool. So were there any Ditko Easter eggs? Boy. All right. So yeah, so that'll be next week. I'll be honest, they actually didn't want anybody taking pictures there. It was very, very restrictive. I mean, when Mike tried taking a picture of himself with one of the Ditkos, he got yelled at. So I did take a few photos and a few video clips, but I couldn't do a walkthrough, because even when I told them who I was, they were like, "Oh, we don't care." They had two press people at the show that were doing all the photos, and they gave me their cards. So I did reach out to them to see if I can get any extra material from them. But yeah, they weren't very like a lot of gallery shows, they didn't want photos taken. So I took a few anyway. Yes. But I did take photos of photocopies, which I did because I just wanted people to see it. But I didn't take any pictures of the personal photos, though. I will tell you that, because I didn't feel that was right. So I didn't. I avoided all of those and took pictures of his desk and a few other things. But we'll see that next week. He can't take photos of his art. You know what? That was a little weird, Marcus. They initially said no, and then when I met with one of the people, they finally kind of gave in and let me do it. But yeah, initially they really didn't want us to take anything, even though Mike had contributed what he had. And but it wasn't mean or anything. But I did have a guy walk up to me and literally say, "Can't you read?" It says right there, no pictures. And I was like, thank you. And so that was the last picture I took when a guy said that to me. So, but all in all, a very nice show. Nice place. It was a nice facility for something like that. And it was really geared towards, I think it was like Steve Ditko, hometown hero. And that was the idea, was like trying to let people in Johnstown know about him. And again, it was really cool to see his family members find out about him, more about him than they knew just from him being a family member. So, Bully Bill again. Yeah, that was me. Sean P broke Perky's camera. Oh man. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can get that picture. So, we should. Why don't we see if we can close this giveaway here, right? Let's just see if that can work. Now that we've gotten, it looks like, let me pull it up on the screen one more time. I guess I can give everybody 60 seconds here. This is like a Dueling Dealers episode. Anybody who hasn't already tried to put their exclamation point enter into the chat, do so now or forever hold your peace, because it's we're still holding at 47. So anyways, so this weekend is Terrificon. That was actually why we originally Anthony and Mike were going to do their $500 show on Saturday, and we had talked about it right after the show with Jordan, and then Anthony realized he had to go to Terrificon this weekend, so that didn't work out. So that's why we ended up pushing the $500 show over to Monday, and I'm doing that thing with Mike on Saturday. But so Terrificon is supposed to be, I'll be curious. Colin's going to that show, and I didn't even talk to him about that. But I hope he shoots some video. Maybe I should even ask Anthony to do a walkthrough and see how fun and exciting that show ends up being. It'd be nice if to see how packed the aisles are and whether or not they have a good turnout. Oh, Jason, you're going. Mel, Jason, you should shoot a little video for me, my friend. You can be my cameraman. Anybody that goes, just contact me if you shoot any video, anything that's interesting, back walls, Anthony in his pajama pants like he always does. Well, don't send me any of those, but anybody, thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. You shoot some, and I'll see if I can't get a few other ones, but I'll give you like a link to a Google Drive to post them to it, and we can add that to our update for next week. So, all right, I think I'm gonna take the little message off the screen here, and we got 53 people now. So that's more than half the people that have been watching this evening. There's a button in here that just says pick winner. I don't know what's going to happen when I click it, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna, I should probably like copy paste this whole list in case I have to do something on my own separately. So let me just make sure I don't lose anybody that submitted. And I got that now. All right, so now I could just click pick winner, and it says winner selected, but it didn't tell me who. Did it put it in the chat? Gil C, you have that's you being entered. What the heck? Where is, I gotta see these things. I got too many dang windows open here. Carlos Mo has won the 6 months. All right, Carlos, congratulations, Carlos. All right. Hey, I can't believe this thing worked. Hey, Nick, we can do a giveaway now. All right, that wasn't too hard after all, man. I was sweating bullets. Congratulations, Carlos Mo. All right. Holy mackerel. Man, that's awesome. Wow. Man, if I would have only known it was this easy, I could have been doing these all along. Shoot. All right. Well, cool. That's great. Carlos, congratulations. Carlos is a regular here, as everybody knows. So thank you for doing that, Carlos. Yeah. All right. Clean living always works. You are so right, Rich. All right. I'm totally happy. That's awesome. Okay. Now, all right. So another thing off my list. I got that one done. All right. The only other thing, well, actually, here, I'm gonna throw a poll at you, and just for the sake of doing it, this is a poll from me, not one that Duke had sent me, but it goes back to that question about Dueling Dealers on Wednesdays versus maybe moving it to Monday. I have always felt that keeping it on Wednesday, just stick to my guns, and Heritage be damned, just just keep at it, right? I don't think that the reason we've been seeing low sales really in the last, really since I came back from vacation, right, is indicative of anything other than a lot of people have overspent probably since we started that show. And also, we've got different cons coming up, and we had the whole Felix's San Diego show. So many things. So I'm just going to turn this thing on. It's basically, it'll be a poll in the YouTube chat, and it's basically, the question is dueling dealers regular night ? In other words, do we keep it on the regular night? And so the two answers would be keep it on Wednesday or move it to Monday. I like it where it's at personally, but I will at least take your thoughts into consideration, because yes, too much partridge family, Chuck. Anthony and I, man, we go round and round on what he should bring, and he keeps digging after that the partridge family and the million model stuff, and I agree, Tim. In some cases, it's definitely it's funny, because how the art is always in the beauty is some guys think their art is better than others, and sometimes I look at the sets that I get, from them, and they're excited, and I'm less excited. It's just kind of how it goes. Sometimes they think they got a slate of doozies, on the docket for the evening, and then other nights it's not so much. So, and okay, yeah, I agree. NSN Mondays would be a horrible night once things. That's the other reason I really like Wednesday nights. That's why I'm not really against the keep moving it. I like it on Wednesday, to be honest. I think Wednesday's right in the middle of the week. It's not conflicting with people traveling to a show or traveling back from a show, and I just think it makes the most sense. I mean, I don't think, I believe, because Heritage, they told me that they were going to probably try to get comic art ahead of all the other stuff, but I know that they kind of go alphabetically by artists. So when we started the last couple shows, they were already in the S's or T's or something like that. They're not done at 9 o'clock. But I know even with Mike, I mean, because Mike always participates, but he's like, yeah, I just put he's just doesn't watch, right? And he just puts his bids in up to what he wants on a few things that he may have to go after. Hump Day. All right. See, everybody wants it on Wednesday. I'm glad. That is exactly what I wanted to hear, because I don't think that I don't think that Heritage is affecting us at all. I think what I think we've all seen is the art sometimes isn't great, and I'm glad. Hey, I don't hate Million Model. I just think sometimes that I know Anthony is always trying to shake it up and come in with something a little different, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. He had those 3 droid pages last night and didn't sell them. I mean, they're up on his website now, but he's always trying something different. I can't fault Anthony for not trying to do something a little different. And it's a weekly, it's a family affair now. I mean, it's not just for me, but for the audience. So, all right, everybody is pretty much on board with Wednesday nights, 86%. So, yeah, I had a feeling that was what I bought a fire trying to go. I know, Marcus. Oh, man. But that one was actually pretty good. The Popeye cover last night. I actually, all right. So at the end of the day, I do appreciate that Anthony tries. He does try to do some different stuff. And Mike always just tries to bring the goods. I mean, last night's stuff from Mike definitely wasn't as doozy or claimy-ish as he thought they were. But that happens sometimes. I can tell you that he's had his Albert set for a while. He about like 6. Well, once we figured out we were going to do it, and when we had a date, he started planning for that, and it's just And I looked at it. The funny thing is, I think it's good, but I don't think it's great. So I hope he doesn't hear that. He may not win, but I already looked it over. So it's but we'll see. At the end of the day, we're just trying to have fun and sell art, and looks like we're going to keep it on Wednesday nights for the regular show. So. Tim, I don't know, man. I've heard that though. Lots of people watch with their kids, and their kids sit around and root for one of the two. And Carlos, what'd you miss? Carlos, you won, my friend. You won. What is the wins-loss record right now? I mean, that was episode 27. That dang it. Now I don't have the numbers in front of me because I closed the spreadsheet. But at 27, I mean, I think Anthony is technically at 7. Is he at 7 and 21? Because he had the episode with Jordan. I think Anthony's at 7 and 21, and Mike would be at 20 and 7. So 10% site discount for the loser. Yeah, well, that would make it. Well, see, that's I mean, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Anyway, yeah, that probably won't ever happen. Because the guys really do feel that that it's difficult to discount, right? I mean, anybody who's been in the amateur shows, knows that it's difficult to haggle live, and those guys do it well. And at the end of the day, it's tough. I mean, I have to push Anthony along a little bit, with things, but it's a tough thing to do. So I don't know. So trying to get another 10% out of them as a site discount probably would never happen. But site shut down for me. That's nice. You guys. Yeah. Need a haggling emoji. You're right. I got to figure that one out. We've kicked around what the emojis will be. I've changed them a little bit as after I launched it, so I'm still trying to figure out what's fun. I actually turned the spider web on its side, so when you want to do a thwip, you could actually put Mike. You could do Anthony and then a thwip and then a Mike, and Mike's shooting his webbing on Anthony. If you want to get that creative in the chat, so and right on, you guys have lots of good ideas. All right. Oh, Carlos Mo. Thank you, Carlos, for the super sticker. And again, congratulations for your 6 months added on premium membership. All right. So what do I got here? The only other thing I got is, well, I mean, I could have a few other things, but I'm going to turn this poll off because it is clearly not even close. So, all right. So that one's out of there. So tomorrow I am dropping at noon another dealer interview I did with Jiggy Cruz from Next Comic Art, and I don't know if a lot of people probably haven't met Jiggy. Jiggy was on the Comic Art Live episode or show in November, and in May. I'm sorry, everything's getting merged together for me anymore. It was the May Comic Art Live that Jiggy was on. He did that little bit of an art drop, and with I think there was 6 or 7 of his artists on there. It was a lot of fun. We sold some art during Comic Art Live, and so I met Jiggy. Well, we'd emailed a bunch a couple of years ago, but once he wanted to be a rep, I started working with him, and so we put together his website around the beginning of the year. And he's just a nice guy, and so I can actually show you a quick little clip from that is like a tease for its release tomorrow at noon. So here you go. Sure.
And thanks for featuring that, Bill. I saw it on the email.
Yeah.
Like a popular new art. Like, oh, thanks. And then Miguel, you're featured. And then he actually talked to me earlier this morning. Like, man, I just wanted to thank you because I was selling some of my sketches for $5. Like, what? You're crazy. You're crazy. And he sold a painting for $10. Like, Miguel, like that's never gonna happen again.
Right, exactly.
Help you, yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's happy, and because of the art that he's been selling, he's been doing more paintings, which makes me happy. Like, people should have traditional art.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's exciting. So, I mean, was he selling locally at that point in time? I mean,
yeah, he was doing the local conventions here.
Right.
And then he tried the Singapore Comic Con over there, and the Singaporeans love Miguel. So like, hey, maybe I can sell more sketches and some of my original art. So, and then he talked to me again, and then let's do this. And then because since Miguel joined, I can never forget. I talked to Mark Hay of Splash Page Art before. Like, Mark, who was your first guy? I forget who, but he said, like,
it was Tim Bradstreet.
There. if you start with one guy, they just keep. And I started with Miguel. So Kim Jacinto and Rian Gonzalez shortly followed.
Mm-hmm.
And then by NYCC of 2020, I just started talking to you then.
Mm-hmm.
I had 5 artists, and now for the last San Diego at home, 16. So from October to July, like I was able to get 16, like increase it to 16. So it's been great. It's been a learning experience.
All right, so there you go. Yeah, that zoom in was a little weird. I'll have to tweak the editing on that one before I post it tomorrow. But yeah, Jiggy is a very nice guy. I saw lots of people saying that he really is. He's really nice to talk to, and I'm really looking forward to working with him on stuff in the future because he's fun. He called it Next Comic Art because he's trying to find, he's trying to promote the Filipino artists, and a lot of them are younger. So Next Comic Art was like trying to find the next comic artist sort of thing. And so I liked the way he was approaching it, and I think he's just got a good head on his shoulders, and I think he's going to do really well. And and I think he's so again, I'm going to be doing more with him in the future. That's for sure. And he's already asked to be on the next, get on a panel again in Comic Art Live in the fall. He talked about, because he did the San Diego at home thing, and he said it just didn't really do much for him. The bigger shows like that, they're really just going to be focused on, it's a do-it-yourself kind of environment with the bigger shows. So, even though he did a lot of stuff on his own, he actually said he sold better, got more commissions through Comic Art Live than he did through the San Diego show. So anybody who ends up watching this, just put that, write it down. If you're a rep or you're an artist, you should be hanging out at the Comic Art Live shows and not doing these virtual shows with the other places, because they just do not produce. So, and I've heard that a lot, especially from artists that paid to be in like the virtual artist alleys and stuff, and just had, literally no action whatsoever. So, and yeah, the Manic stuff is very, very cool. And I think, I don't think I posted mine to my CAF, but I picked up a Manix piece from him. And I know there's a Thor piece up there right now that I should probably consider, but I've already got one thing now. I got my Wolverine, so I'm going to wait a little bit, one thing at a time. I love, I can't even, Rian, I can't even remember the name of the one woman that he reps, but I love her work. It's beautiful, super colorful. So, yeah, too much distraction at SDCC. Yeah, exactly. There's just, Yep, exactly. And that is why we need more people preaching the good word about Comic Art Live and the benefits of bringing, if a rep setting up and taking commissions there, and also artists just using it. I wish more artists. You guys know that when you look at what we would consider our artist alley, there's only ever like 8, maybe, if we're lucky. So I think we actually got some good press after the last show. And I've had like 4 artists, people that are regulars on the con circuit that don't use CAF, that approached me after the last Comic Art Live asking how to, how to get involved with the next one, thinking that maybe it was going to be soon. But so hopefully the word will get around, and when we do the November show, we'll have a bigger artist turnout. That would be really nice. And no, we're not doing another giveaway yet. I'll do one every week, though. I mean, that was fun. I'm glad everybody turned out for that. And Rian, thank you, Marcus. I couldn't remember if it was R-I-E-N or R-I-A-N. So, yes, and I'm probably saying it wrong. But, yeah, love her work. It's very, very, I don't even want to try to name it. But, yes, very colorful. Need to rename it to CAFCon. Tom, no, I can't. It's not. I need to learn more about, Tim, you need to learn about Comic Art Live. I don't think, Tim, I don't know when you became more, a regular on the Dueling Dealers show, participating, in the community, in the shows themselves. But yeah, we do a Comic Art Live virtual convention. We've done 3 of them so far. We did the first one May 2020, because of COVID, and then November, and then again in May. So it's just a virtual show through CAF that is called Comic Art Live, and it just premium members get in 2 hours early to buy artwork. I think this last show there were 4,500 pieces of artwork available for purchase, which is, like, as I've already said, I hope that's my max. I don't want to really have much more than that at one time, but we sold I think $1.2 million in art that weekend in the last show. So it's very popular. It works really well, and we've been, I don't know, it's hopefully we've actually been having a couple planning meetings for the November show already. So I'd like to think that it's going to be bigger and better than it was last time around. So, and we're getting there. We're definitely figuring it out. But again, we're doing a better job than the other places, and we're all art centric. So please let artists know as we get closer to the show. Hopefully my PR is a little bit better and I get announcements out like 3 months out, and please share them with your friends in the hobby, that, especially the artist friends, and let them know that, it's a great opportunity to give it a try. And it's not like, you're not going to set up in a con for less than, the $75 that, because only premium members can have an exhibitor booth. So for an artist to get 2 times a year to be set up to get commissions or sell work that they've got, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? There's no commissions on sales or anything. It's just the premium membership price. So, and there you go. Come on in. Yep, 2 more likes to get to 70. So thank you, Nick, for reminding me. Okay, one more. You're working your magic, Nick. And Nick, hey, we should either talk on the phone tomorrow, or I'll call you and we'll figure out what we want to do about an art giveaway. So let's see. I think that custom, hit the like button, custom emoji. Man, I'll work on it. I know that we're slowly, the more members we get, the more emojis we're allowed to add. So so we're working on it. And I know that, what was it? Sorry, I'm just trying to think of one thing here. No, I pretty much covered all the stuff that I was going to cover. I thought I had one other thing here, but at any rate, hour and a half into it, you guys still hanging out with me. I appreciate that. At the end of the day, I'm pretty confident that I'll probably end up going back to Friday nights with these, because I've got too many requests for doing interviews and things. And so I know that Thursdays are probably going to end up being, a regular interview night again. But that's 6 or 7 more weeks out. I'm going to have my Fridays off for a little bit longer. And, but in general, hope it arrived. You guys, Capville has the best fans. We busted 70. Thank you, Nick. It's all, and Nick, you helped drive half of those home. That's for sure. So, again, I'm sorry, I'm just looking through things. So everybody who joined this evening, I appreciate it. As far as becoming a member of the channel, Tommy, Chris, JC, Tyler, David, and there were people at the last show that I didn't get to acknowledge during the Dueling Dealers episode, and that was Sean, Aranga, Michelle, and at any rate, I think we're well over 40 members strong. And so you can see, I think we're going to do some interesting stuff. Just let me work out the details on these like member only events, and maybe we even might do a member only get together every once in a while. And it's not to exclude people. I just want to, it's all about, this is like a Patreon in its own weird way, right? You guys are supporting me, and I should be able to do more and find more ways to make life and the hobby more fun for all of us. So, yes, you guys. All right. So I think I'm going to call it a night. I think we've hit on all the stuff. I didn't have any rants this evening. I thought about a couple things, and maybe we'll talk, next week. But that's not what I wanted the show to be about. I wanted it to be about more things about the hobby, and I think we're finding our way through this. Doing the Dave Stevens piece to start the show, and we've gotten in the video that Dino gave us last week, and what Mikhail gave us this week. I just want to do more. So, if there's things that I think, and throwing the polls in here and the giveaway just kind of ties this to CAF more, which I really wanted to do. That's why this was always the CAF update, or, and this was episode 54. And now I'm finally actually doing something cool back towards CAF. So I think I'm kind of on to something here. If I could just figure out a proper show schedule as I walk through the show, I'll be a lot happier, because I just jot down notes and they're all out of order. You can see my train of thought, right? It's like, here. It's like, oh, no, go over here, talk about that. So, yeah. I think if I could just get that side of the show down, things would even be better. At any rate, so I'm just going to call it an evening, everybody, and I'll see most of you probably on Saturday when we do the art drop. Even if you're at Terrificon, then more power to you. I hope you have a good show, and otherwise, I'll see you on Collector Conversations on Sunday evening. All right.